All right, guys, come back. Yeah, the break time is over. Okay, so let's come back to our paragraphs and how unity and coherence is not happening in these paragraphs because this author stuck in some irrelevant sentences. Okay. Um, Again, this in these paragraphs, you can guess the whether this sentence is irrelevant or not by looking at, first of all, the topic sentence. And by looking at the topic sentence, you can immediately think about how this paragraph should have this, the sentences in this paragraph should be directly related to this topic sentence. But not only this, you will also be able to find some hints through, let's say, transitional signals, or maybe the repetition of keywords, key nouns, something like that. And we just did that with this paragraph, where you said, one of you said, well, it was really difficult for us to find the relevant sentence in paragraph 3. Well, we tried to find what the topic sentence was, and because of this topic sentence, we could narrow down the sentences that should belong to this paragraph. And then we found out that the transitional signal using for example, if you use for example transitional signals, then it should also be directly related to the previous sentence. In other words, the following sentences after the word for example, the other sentences should also be directly related to the examples of the previous sentence. However, if you looked at the previous sentence, which was talking about the diseases that swept around the world, if that was the sentence that belonged there in the paragraph, then the examples should be talking about how China lost these varieties of rice because of certain diseases. And after that, Mexico lost this much of crops variety because of certain diseases. In Philippines, they lost this much of crops because of this disease. So they should have kept mentioning something about the diseases if the sentence belonged there. But we could guess because this sentence used for example, and the previous sentence referred to something about diseases. After that, in the example sentences, it didn't have any mention about diseases. Then that means the disease sentence is the wrong one. It shouldn't be there. Again, if you just delete the second part of the sentence, then it's okay. Then we have no problem with the sentence. But the problem was the second half of the sentence. And like I said, this can happen with your writings as well. So be extra careful when you're writing your paragraphs or your essays. Try to always stick to the topic and think from the audience's perspective. If you mention certain things, certain elements, then will the following sentences also be related to, like a chain reaction, related to the previous element that you mentioned? Okay. I have a question, guys. In my apartment complex right now, some houses are having like construction, I guess. Do you hear it too? Is it annoying for you too? No? Okay, thank God. Okay, it's just me. All right. Okay. You know, I 갑자기 그거 왜 생각나죠? 야, 개 짖는 소리 좀 안 나게 하라. 갑자기 그거 생각나. 소리 지르고 싶네요. anyway, 설마 여러분 그거 모르는 거예요? 그 영상, 유튜브에서 레전더리한 그 영상을 모르는 건 아니죠? 개 짖는 소리 좀 안 나게 하라 아저씨 있잖아요. 아는 사람이 민혁이랑 태관이 정도밖에 없는 것 같아, 지금. 이따가 한번 유튜브에서 찾아보세요. 개 짖는 소리 아저씨. 진짜 막 아파트 단지에서 사자후가 울려요. 장난 아님. Okay, so let's come back to our each paragraph. So you mentioned how this paragraph was a little troublesome for you, but I'm gonna go back to the first paragraph to talk about each sentence that didn't belong. So the first paragraph Now, this is what we call an introductory paragraph. And introductory paragraphs look a little different from typical other paragraphs. And we will talk about this, sometime this week. But to give you a trailer hint, this is a typical introductory paragraph for a for a longer essay, like 5 paragraph, 6 paragraph essay. Normally, in other body paragraphs or with concluding paragraphs, we expect each paragraph to begin with a topic sentence. And it should be very clearly known that this is our topic sentence for this paragraph, and we should focus our entire spectrum of the paragraph within this topic sentence. However, introductory paragraphs are meant to hook the audience first. They are meant to attract the audience so that they can get it going with reading. And the introductory paragraph, because of this reason, usually begins with hooking sentences. So we can see how this is definitely not the topic sentence of the entire paragraph. We can see that this is just a hook. This just gets you going. It says, we often hear about the world's changing diet, and we think of this as a modern concept, but in a sense, the human diet, it has always been changing. Notice how this author gave you a piece of well-known information blended with a surprising ending. And you can see how the first part, well-known fact, is just well-known fact, so we're very used to this. But the second part of the sentence where it says, but in a sense, the human diet has always been changing. So we suddenly come across the fact that, wow, this is not something that's happening only for this century. We thought like the world is changing all the time, but we didn't know that it also happened in the past. So this gives you the surprise ending and surprise there, and then you just sort of get hooked into it. 분명히 내가 이렇게 얘기하면 이제 또 여러분 중에 이런 사람이 있겠죠. 아닌데, 안 재밌는데, 읽으래서 할 수 없이 읽었는데, 막 이런 사람이 있는 거 알아요. 아이, 그냥 그렇다고 칩시다. 자, 근데 take a look at the second sentence. It says the banana, for example, whose origins appear to be in the region that today is Malaysia, traveled to India, where Alexander the Great first tasted it. His soldiers brought it back to Greece in about 350 BC. So this is a typical example of that human diet has always been changing. This tells you that, okay, the bananas were supposed to be in Malaysia in the beginning, but Alexander the Great tasted it. I mean, Malaysia, the bananas in Malaysia traveled to India, and then there Alexander the Great tasted it, and he brought it back to Greece. So we can see how the journey of the species called bananas made a cross from Malaysia to Greece. And then after that, so this is the example of how human diet has always been changing. So this sentence is meant to support the idea that diet changing, the concept of diet changing is not just, focused on 21st century or the time that the era that we're living in right now. No, it's not just that, but it's always been happening since like 350 BC. And then this after this sentence, there comes this sentence where it says the soldiers soon started to eat bananas every day. So if you read the sentence after this, you sort of expect to see how you can how Greece bananas, and they became very prevalent, and then Greece started doing a lot of banana farming, and then that's how the bananas spread to Europe, and so on and so on. That's, if you mention this sentence, that should be the direction of your paragraph. However, the paragraph begins to talk about another example, which is about potatoes. They started in South America, and then Spanish people brought it back to Europe. So again, very similar pattern. Malaysia, India, Greece, South America to Europe. So very similar pattern there. So you can see that this sentence about the soldiers soon started to eat bananas every day is a sort of like a 무등금 sentence there. It doesn't belong there, right? Because the paragraph no longer focuses on how the bananas spread throughout Europe. It's not relevant. So if you're not going to keep talking about it, then don't mention it. So this sentence you should delete. And then comes the last sentence here. And that it is true, however, that globalization is changing our diet faster than ever before. So this is what we call a thesis statement, and we will talk about thesis statement later in this week. But to give you a general hint about what a thesis statement looks like, thesis statement is the topic sentence of the entire essay. And here it should be considered as one of the most important sentences in this paragraph, right? Now notice how this person used the transitional signal, however, in the middle of the sentence. Again, in turn is also a transitional signal, and they used it in the middle of the sentence. And that's the beauty of using a transitional signal. You can use it in the middle of the sentence. So what you can do with the word however, you can begin your sentence with however, comma, it is true that globalization is changing our diet faster than ever before. You can use this sentence in this style, but you can also say it is true, comma, however, comma. Okay. I think we did talk about this when we were talking about transitions like therefore, in addition, and things like this. Okay. Again, there are several ways that you can use transitional signals. Like you can decide to combine these two sentences and say, hey, I'm gonna put semicolon here and put small lowercase here. Okay, you can do this too. Or you can decide to put however here too. That's also possible. Okay, so coming back. All right. And then in the second paragraph, of course, it should be good if your paragraph also starts with another topic sentence. And these topic sentences should be able to support directly the thesis statement. Now here it says, in several ways, our modern diet differs from that of our great-great-grandparents. So this basically is trying to say we have very different diet from our ancestors or from the past. Today we have access to more kinds of foods from other countries, the favorite food. So this is all related to how our diet today is very different from the past, right? So we have more kinds of foods because globalization, yeah. And then it says the favorite food of many people worldwide is pizza. Huh? Right? This was really easy. You just instantly goes, huh? Like, okay, so you're gonna talk about how the diet is very different from the past. All right, so how is it different? Well, we have a lot of access to different kinds of foods, like the way we go to, if we open our Pemin application, we can order Thai food, Vietnamese food, we can order American food, sometimes British food, American or Korean, Japanese, Chinese, that kind of varieties, right? But then 무등금 pizza 타령, right? Huh? So if you're gonna talk about pizza, then you should all talk about pizza. But then if you do that here, the problem is the pizza idea itself does not fit with the topic sentence there. So then it's not just about coherence, but it's also about unity. It doesn't belong there. Okay, so the rest of the sentence goes on, la la la. So I'm just gonna skip to the fourth paragraph here. Okay, right here, here comes starting your paragraph with a rhetorical question. Rhetorical questions, like we talked about in an anecdote storytelling, It's a question that generates thoughts from the audience, but they are not meant to ask for specific answers or information. It's more like 답정너 kind of style. We don't care what your answers are. It's just we need them to generate some thoughts and provoke some interest from the audience's behalf. Now, I want to assure you that this is not a topic sentence. Rhetorical questions are not a topic sentence. Rhetorical questions cannot be a thesis statement. Please, please keep in mind of the fact that these question types are not suitable for topic sentences or thesis statements. I am emphasizing this because, like I said in our previous lessons, a lot of Korean students are very familiar to Korean style of writing. And in Korean style of writing, for some reason, some people think that this can make a good topic sentence. So what do? They put these rhetorical questions in the position of thesis statement here. 그렇다면 왜 다이어트가 지금까지 계속 빨리 바뀌고 있는가? 이러지 말라고요. 그것에 대해 알아보도록 하겠다. 김상중이에요? 무슨 그것이 알고 싶다 찍습니까? Don't do that, alright? So that's not what we want from an academic essays, alright? Thesis statements or topic sentences should always be a statement, okay? So this sentence here is just to generate some thoughts from your audience. 그렇다면 왜 그런 거지? 왜냐하면 여기서부터 이게 바로 topic sentence, okay? The key reason is that farmers are replacing traditional varieties with modern ones, partly because they're easy to ship to distant countries. And then they talk about, reason, supporting details for the reason. Why do they do this then? Why do farmers replace traditional varieties with modern ones? Well, big industrial agriculture contributes to the problem. Huge international companies are buying small family farms and shifting to newer and fewer crops, but in great quantities. This is because, so notice how, well, farmers are replacing traditional varieties with modern ones because big industrial, agriculture does this, because they want small family farms to be much more efficient. So notice how this is, answering the questions. Why? Well, because this and because that and because that. It's like a chain reaction. They're all closely very related. Therefore, we can say that so far the sentences are very coherently connected to one another. And then comes the next sentence says, according to the Rainforest Conservation Fund, in the past, agriculture in different regions of the world was independent and local. Now, however, much of it has become part of the global exchange economy. La la la. Okay. So it seems fine. Seems fine, but do you realize there's something weird about this? 되게 꼬리에 꼬리를 무는 것처럼 되게 coherent한 것 같은데 어딘가 이상하지 않아요? 여기까지 되게 완벽해 보이는데 어딘가 이상한 거 느낀 사람. 안 이상해? 여기까지 2주의 답이 있는데요. 지금 여기까지 읽을 때까지. No? No? 자, alright. 아니, 내가 이렇게 막 되게 자신감에 차서 막 설명을 해도 이렇게 어잉? 하는 거 없었어요? 아, 이러면 안 돼. 내가 있잖아. 왜냐면 내가 이런 걸 언제 자주 쓰냐. 이게 오프라인에서 먹히는데 온라인에서는 안 되는구나. 되게 시리어스하게 틀린 답을 막 맞는 것처럼 설명을 하면 정신을 차리고 있는 사람이 있는지 없는지를 알 수가 있거든요. 어잉? 이러는 게 왜 없어? 여러분 카메라 다 반이 꺼져 있어서 그런가? 왜 그런 거 있잖아요. 3 더하기 3은 7이잖아요. 맞죠? 그러니까요. 그러니까 그 다음으로 넘어갑시다. 3 곱하기 3은 10. 막 이러면 뭔가 해야 되는데 다시 돌아갑시다. 이러지 매. 자, 항상 비판적인 사고방식으로 들어야 돼요. 자, 뭘 여러분들이 노리사길 원했냐면 이 부분인데 어딘가 이상한데 이 문장이 지금 맞거든. 얘가 여기 있으면 안 되는 문장이기는 해요. 근데 왜 그럴까? Anybody? Any ideas? Didn't you all talk about this with your group members? Okay, so the key reason that a farmer, okay, let me just put this in highlights. Okay, the key reason is that farmers are replacing traditional varieties with modern ones, right? So we understand that. And big industrial agriculture contributes to the problem. Okay, so we can see how these two factors are very closely related, right? But notice how the focus of this sentence is related to small family farms are more efficient. Okay? 자, 이게 약간 말장난같이 느껴질 수는 있어요. 보세요. 이런 거에서 이제 되게 이 뉘앙스를 설명을 해야 되니까 잠깐 한국말로 얘기를 할게요. 지금 앞에서는 무슨 얘기를 하냐면 대형 기업들이 small family farm을 더 shifting to newer, fewer crops 하게 만든다. small family farms를 그렇게 하게 만든다. 근데 만약에 이게 왜 그런지를 설명을 하고 싶으면 예를 들어서 그 small family farms가 fewer crops를 plant 할 때 더 efficient한 environment다. 그러니까 예를 들어서 small family farms가 fewer crops를 할 때 big companies가 더 그걸 매니지하기가 efficient하다라는 취지의 문장이 나왔으면 괜찮아요. 근데 잘 읽어보세요. 이건 그게 아니다. Small family farms have much more efficient environment to plant fewer crops. Really? So 이게 당연하다고 읽히는 그 뇌의 흐름만 따라가시면 안 되는 거예요. 이게. 무슨 얘기인지 이해되나요? 내가 지금 오늘 설명이 되게 바보같이 나오는데 이해되세요? 그러니까 그 문장을 다시 한번 잘 읽어보면 제가 무슨 얘기를 하려고 하는지를 아실 거예요. So compare the sentences. If I wrote it this way, let's say if I said, this is because, no, because it is easier for bigger companies to manage small family farms with fewer crops. 또는 it is easier보다 more efficient로 바꿔볼게요. 만약에 이런 문장이었으면 we have no problem. 근데 그 뜻이 아니죠. 지금 여기 이 문장은 뜻이 뭐냐면 small family farms가 fewer crops 하기에 더 좋아. 그런 취지가 아니잖아요. 그러니까 말을 살짝 돌려놓은 거죠. 근데 누누이 얘기하지만 여러분들이 라이팅을 하다가 살짝 잠깐만 핀트를 놓치면 이런 일들이 발생을 한단 말이죠. 근데 아까도 우리가 지금 너무나도 자연스럽게 읽었을 때 아무 문제 없어 보였잖아요. 그런 것처럼 무슨 일이 있냐면 내가 머릿속에서 흘러가는 이 흐름대로라면 그냥 아무렇지도 않은데 제 3자 입장에서 봤을 땐 너임? 이렇게 되는 문장이 될 수가 있다는 거죠. 그래서 coherence를 조심하셔야 된다는 얘기, unity를 조심하셔야 된다는 얘기를 그래서 자꾸 하는 거예요. 자꾸 읽어보고 또 읽어보고 proofread를 계속 하셔야 되는 거죠. 자기 라이팅은 너무 당연해서 더 이상 뭔가 흡을 잡아낼 수가 없는 지경이 올 수 있거든요. 그래서 자꾸 다시 읽어보고 자꾸 사람들한테 나 라이팅 한번 봐봐. 뭐 이상한 거 없어? 계속 이렇게 피드백을 원해야 되는 거예요. Okay? Do you guys understand my explanation? Are you following? Okay, thank you. All right, now coming back to our next paragraph, I'm going to skip to the next paragraph. Again, in this paragraph too, this paragraph starts with another rhetorical question. Again, a rhetorical question cannot be a topic sentence. So take a look. Where is the topic sentence? Well, it says, two crops, the potato and the banana, illustrate the root of the problem. In the 19th century, much of Europe, especially poor people, became dependent on potatoes as their main food source. 자, if you take a look at these sentences, probably you can't find the topic sentence. It's not very clear. This is one of the paragraphs that doesn't have a very clear topic sentence, like the way we talked about Harriet Tubman, Moses for the slaves. In that paragraph, we talked about how the topic sentence is not clearly stated, but we can sort of infer what the topic sentence might be. You know, this is the type of sentence that this is the type of paragraph that looks like that, where this sentence starts like, two crops illustrate the root of the problem. Some people might be thinking, hey, isn't that the topic sentence? Well, it doesn't have a controlling idea. 어쩌라고? Potato and banana가 problem의 근원이라고? Really? I don't know. What problem? Root of the problem? What problem are you talking about? So it's not really specific enough. It could have been better. It could have been a better topic sentence if this mentioned a little more about the problem. So it talks about, however, only a few of the thousands of varieties of potato in the Americas had been introduced in Europe. When a terrible plant disease swept through Western Ireland in 1845, the potato crop failed. There was no other healthy variety to replace it. This was all due to having potatoes in Ireland. They should have planted potatoes also in France. Huh? So this sentence was pretty much obvious. This sentence was really obvious. It doesn't belong here. But up to here, we could sort of feel the topic sentence, what the topic sentence might have been. You know, lack of variety can be a problem because it can, when one variety gets swept through, gets killed by some diseases, then people start starving. So we need to that's why we need to have more variety. That's what the paragraph is trying to say, right? So over the next 7 years, a lot of people died, hunger drove, and a lot of people had to move out from Ireland. Today, industrial agriculture might be causing a similar problem with the banana. So notice how this sentence deliberately connects the contents with the previous paragraph, where they were talking about how the huge companies are, choosing only newer and fewer crops in greater quantities. But you know what the problem is? Well, something that happened, in the 19th century with the potatoes in the Ireland, that's going to happen with the bananas. And this time, it's not because of the diseases. It's caused by these big companies. There are about 300 varieties, but in much of the world, people have access to exactly one, the Cavendish. So the banana that you have at your home probably is this one, this variety. So if disease sweeps through the Cavendish crop, then we're all gonna have, no longer gonna have bananas. That's terrible, right? So that's what the whole paragraph is trying to say. And then comes the last concluding paragraph. So like we talked about a few days ago, the purpose of a concluding sentence is to rephrase the topic sentence and also give some suggestions or predictions about your findings or what you discussed in your paragraph, right? Well, same thing applies to concluding paragraph. So it talks about how it's not too late, however, to save some of the endangered crops. Notice how this this author is trying to 드릉드릉 right now. 시동 걸고 있죠. 뭐 하려고? To give you his suggestion. The buy local movement is encouraging people to support farmers near their home. La la la. So notice how this paragraph is trying to give general solution to the previous paragraphs. And after reading this paragraph, the audience might feel sort of like 사이다 here, because we've been looking at these really sad, despairing paragraphs where they will keep emphasizing, well, because of big companies, you'll no longer have bananas in the future. You know what? In the past, your grandpa used to taste many different types of rice, but you only can taste one. You are so pathetic. That's what the whole paragraphs, the essay has been talking about. But here it's trying to give you hope and to wrap it up a little more beautifully. So if you keep on reading, you will see that this sentence doesn't belong here. Hopefully, this will also benefit the seed companies. So, Slow Food Foundation is collecting seeds of endangered varieties like 노아의 방주 style. 근데 Noah's Ark, you know that story, right? But hopefully this will also benefit the seed companies. That totally contradicts with the bigger agricultural companies that they were just talking about. They don't collect variety of seeds, but they just, focus on fewer varieties of seeds, right? That's what we've been reading for the entire essay. And this contradicts the belief, so it doesn't belong there. So any questions so far? Are you okay? Yeah? No? Yeah? Okay. All right. All right, now we're going to let's talk about some capitalization and punctuation rules. So I'd like you guys to go on to Cyber Campus and download another file that I uploaded for today's lesson, which says capitalization and punctuation rules, right? If you download the file, you will come across a PDF file that looks like looks like this. Okay, so to be honest with you, this is actually like a 학습지 for 중2, 8th graders in American schools. So as you can see, here it says grade 8, right? Now I'm telling you this not because I want you guys to feel bad about it. I'm telling you this because this is very complicated concept. It's okay that you don't understand basic elements of capitalization because even native speakers have trouble with capitalizing. 오죽하면 이게 8학년 학습지로 이게 책으로 나왔겠냐고요. The title of the book is actually Spectrum Language Arts Grade 8, and it's an excellent book. If you are interested in general, very shallow grammar as well as sentence mechanics like this, I suggest you go to 교보 or anywhere. They sell this book online, and this book can help you guys out with a lot of writing mistakes. Okay, and it's not very expensive either. I think it was like 8,000 something won, 만 원인가? 하여튼 그렇게 비싸지 않아요. 끔찍하지 않아요. 그리고 두께도 그렇게 두께도 요 정도? Okay, so 여기 가격이 안 써 있네. So it's a good book. So coming back, I'd like you guys, instead of me just like lecturing, Now I want you guys to be in groups and try to explain the capitalization rules to your group members. I'm going to put you back to your groups, and this time I need you guys to divide the work. You will see some rules that are being explained in lesson 2.1 and lesson 2.2, and then lesson, where did it go? Lesson 2.3, okay? So I need you guys, oh, and lesson 2.4, okay? So go on, find the rules, and share the rules that you learned through reading each page. Divide the work with your group members, and then explain what you learned in English, okay? All right, so let me put you back to breakout sessions. As of now, you don't have to think too much about the problems, okay? 문제 푸는 거 집중하지 마시고 그냥 이렇게 나눠가지고 서로 누가 2.1 설명할 거지, 누가 2.2 설명할 거지 다 나누셔가지고요. 설명하시면 됩니다. Okay? So let me put you guys back to small groups. I'll give you 10 minutes. 8, 10. Huh? Okay, 10 minutes. Let's go. Taeyong, are you having trouble with joining the small group? Yeah. Okay. So what are the rules? What have you found? So from my experience, it seems like the best way to learn something is to teach. And I'm trying to give you this opportunity to share what you have learned with your group members so that you can end up with longer memories. So if you take a look at the first lesson there, it talks about how you should capitalize, of course, the first word. This is obvious. We've been talking about this for a long time, right? First word, and capitalize the first word in direct quotations. Now, what are we talking about by direct quotations? We're talking about 따옴표, 인용, right? Quotation marks. So notice how this here, ooh, there, doesn't look very pretty there, but this first letter inside the quotation mark is capitalized. But notice how this is lowercase. Okay? 누가 말했어요 이렇게 얘기를 하는 그 부분에서는 lowercase예요. 앞에 이미 direct quotation이 온 경우. Okay? So take a look. Do not capitalize indirect quotations. Okay? So if you are indirectly quoting someone, 간접 인용문, then you don't capitalize. Only the first letter of the sentence is capitalized. Harriet said that the chess club will be holding, la la la. So this whole entire part is not capitalized, okay? Now let's take a look at the next rule. If a continuous sentence in a direct quotation is split, 했을 땐 capitalize 안 해요. 봐요. 이런 식의 문장 되게 많아요. This sentence pattern is very common, especially if you're reading a novel. But you can see how the first letter of the direct quotation is capitalized, but this one is not capitalized, nor is this one, okay? So when you split the sentence, when you split the quotation into half, the first half is capitalized, but the second half is not capitalized, okay? But if you are starting a new sentence like this, you will have 25 minutes to complete the essay. 한 문장 끝나고 두 번째 문장 시작할 때 you may begin writing. Okay? 여기서 펑추에이션 사실 할 게 되게 얘기가 많아요. 근데 여기 보시면 문장이 끝났음에도 불구하고 여기서 콤마를 쓴 걸 볼 수 있거든요. 이게 왜 그러냐면 디렉트 코테이션은 끝났는데 그 다음에 누가 이렇게 말했어요 라는 문장이 아직 안 끝났기 때문에 그래요. 그런데 반면에 여기 같은 경우는 지금 이 디렉트 코테이션 자체로 문장을 끝내고 싶기 때문에 period이 코테이션 마크 안에 들어가 있는 걸 볼 수 있죠. 이게 코테이션 마크 또 안에 period을 집어넣느냐 바깥에 빼느냐 막 이게 또 룰이 다 달라요. 그것까지는 우리 GC2에서 다 얘기를 안 할 테지만 요 정도는 알고 계셨으면 좋겠어요. In a letter, when you write a letter, you capitalize the name of the street, the city, the state, and the month in the heading. So you can see how the name of the street are all capitalized. West, Monroe, Road. So all three words are capitalized. Same thing with the town name, Traverse, capitalized, city, capitalized. With the state name, of course, capitalize it. And month name is capitalized too. So basically, when you're referring to any name, then they are all capitalized, right? And when you are writing a letter or email, you capitalize dear, title, and the person's name. To whom it may concern, or your friend. The first letter is capitalized. Okay? So if you want to make a revision for this sentence, there are two errors with sentence number one. What are they? The first one is this part here. You should capitalize the H because we just said when you are doing direct quotation, the first letter is capitalized. But the rest of the sentence is not capitalized, right? So here, this would be the problem. You have to lowercase asked. 이거 너무 싫어요. I. So even if this word I is in the middle of the sentence like this, you will have to capitalize no matter what the circumstance is. Okay, you capitalize the I all the time. So what is wrong with this sentence? Well, this is the only part that's wrong. I want to see my brother's band on Tuesday night. So if you would think that this sentence and that sentence are one sentence, then you should lowercase it. But if you want to split it up, then you can just leave it be like this. Okay. So I'm just gonna skip the rest here because you can do this on your own. Okay, I'm gonna skip to the next lesson. Let's go. Here we go. The next lesson is, of course, proper nouns. If you're talking about names of specific person, specific place, or specific thing, then they should always be capitalized. Okay, and titles should be capitalized. The way you capitalize books, poems, songs, movies, plays, newspapers, magazines, they all should be capitalized. But how do they do it? Like we discussed the other day, you don't capitalize 관사 and 전치사. 얘네들만 빼고 capitalize 합니다. Notice the rule here. Most of the titles are also underlined or in italic. Okay? So something that looks like this. Nina needs to return the skin I'm in. So this is the book name. And notice how all the words are capitalized. 자, 이쯤에서 또 뭔가 잘못됐다는 거 느끼나요? 선생님 이거 저는 capitalize 하면 안 되는 거 아니에요? 이거 beginning of the title, so you should capitalize it. 근데 이거 이는 사실 전치사니까 lowercase로 가는 게 맞아요. 왜 여기서 이걸 대문자로 썼는지 모르겠어요. lowercase로 가는 게 맞아요. And you do it in italics to notify the reader, well, this is the title of the book. 왜 우리는 이걸 이렇게 코테이션 마크 안에 집어넣는 게 되게 일상이잖아요. 아니면 막 이렇게 꺽쇠 처리하기도 하는데 이렇게 하지 않고요. 꺽쇠 처리는 안 해요. 영어에서는. 이거를 이렇게 이탈릭체로 하거나 아니면 이렇게 코테이션 마크 안에 집어넣는데 코테이션 마크 안에 집어넣는 건 대부분 짧은 워크를 그렇게 해요. 짧은 워크. 예를 들면 song name, or poem name, or article title in a newspaper or a magazine. But if you are talking about the magazine or the newspaper itself, like the New York Times or the Catcher in the Rye, or if you are talking about, let's say, some bigger concepts like the journal name, 학회지, 막 논문 제목 아니고 학회지 제목, 뭐 Journal of Psychology, 막 이런 거 있잖아요. 그런 것들은 이제 다 이탈릭체로. Bigger concept in italics. Smaller concept in quotation mark. Okay. Again, even if you put it in the quotation mark, you should capitalize all the words except for 관사 and 전치사. Okay. So if you take a look, person's title like Dr., Miss, Mr., Professor, these titles also should be capitalized. Okay. So we say my cousin, 뭐가 잘못됐죠? 여기 사람 이름 Manny should be capitalized. Grew up just a couple of blocks from Lake Erie. So this is a name of a lake. So Lake capitalized and Erie capitalized. Okay. I hope you brought Creamy Naturals peanut butter. So this must be the brand name of a peanut butter. So you capitalize Creamy Naturals peanut butter. This should be the entire name, the whole name of this brand. So you capitalize these words. It's the only kind of my brother will eat. The poem. So notice how the poem title is in this quotation mark because it's a shorter type of word. Again, because this is a title, you should capitalize the first letter as well as another noun. On, they are 전치사 and 관사, so you don't capitalize them. We know that this is the name of a person, so this letter, this letter, this letter, and that letter should also be capitalized because it's a name of a person. Okay, so I'm gonna stop and give you room to do this on your own. If you go on to the next lesson, I'm gonna skip here because it's all practice. You should be able to do that on your own. Pronouns, proper nouns like names of organizations, anything. Basically, any 이름 should be capitalized except for 전치사 and 관사. Okay? 계속되는 강조죠. 지금 여러분들이 이거는 하면 안 돼요. 뭘만 하면 안 돼요? 전치사랑 관사는 capitalize 하면 안 돼요. 나머지는 무조건 이름이면 무조건 다 이렇게 capitalize 합니다. 이렇게 다 보이시죠? 다 지금 다 모든 띄어쓰기 한 모든 단어는 다 capitalize 하는데 이렇게 전치사, 관사 안 해주고요. 이렇게 and 같은 것도 안 해줘요. 이게 and 이제 나중에 우리 conjunction 배울 거거든요. 거기서 나올 텐데 이제 이런 것도 이제 capitalize 안 해준다고 보시면 돼요. So basically, you understand how the capitalization rules look like, and you can do this on your own. This is easy, and this should be also easy too. So I'm skipping these so that you can take a look and you know, try on your own. I will post the answers later. Okay. Now this is also very important. I need you to keep very close eye on the end marks of sentences. In English, it's very important that you make sure that you have end marks to every sentence. Okay? 맺고 끊는 게 진짜 확실해야 돼요, 영어는. 우리 같은 경우는 in Korean, sometimes we forget to put period. You know, sometimes. But in English, if you don't put a period at the end of a sentence, then it's a problem. Of course, you can decide to have a question mark or exclamation point, okay? But what's important here is that you need to have some kind of end mark for each sentence, okay? 콤마로 끝나는 거 안 돼요. 콤마로는 문장을 끝낼 수 없어요, okay? So, for example, what is the scientific name for an elephant? Is this a question? Is this a statement? Or is this something surprising? What is the scientific name for an elephant? That statement. What is the scientific name for an elephant? What is the scientific name for an elephant? Which one? Of course, it started with a question word, so it should have end mark of a question mark. There's a gorilla loose in the zoo. I always make fun of my brother, my younger brother. I have a younger brother who's a mechanical engineer. And I am talking, I specifically mention mechanical engineer because his, you know, it's fun to make fun of engineers. I'm sorry for those of you who are engineering in departments. My brother used to talk like an algorithm. Hey, Sean, did you have lunch? Yeah. What did you have? Food. Well, did you have good time? No. Why not? 그냥. So that's the type of conversation that my brother and I used to have. I can't believe how my brother and I are made of same ingredients, but we're totally different people. And I'm mentioning my brother here because whichever information he comes across, there is no exclamation point in his life. He's like, so let's say he's really, let's say I scared him. You know, I go like, boom! You know, I jump out in some wall and then I surprise him. And then he go, oh. 와, 진짜 개답다. So, that's my brother, right? So, coming back to this gorilla sentence, let's take a look. If it were my brother, right, he would read the sentence like this. There's a gorilla loose in the zoo. Or what's worse, he would be saying something like, there's a gorilla loose in the zoo. Wow. Normally, however, people have feelings, right? So we would say something like, there's a gorilla loose in the zoo! Wah! Exclamation point, right? We wouldn't be saying something like, there's a gorilla loose in the zoo? 이러다가 이제 잡아먹히는 거죠, 이미. 고릴라한테 이제 다 터치어 죽는 거야. 물어보다가 죽겠지. 안 그래? 급박한 건 급박하게. exclamation point. 사실 이게 되게 뭐 어려운 컨셉은 아니잖아요. 우리 이거 다 초등학교 때 이미 다 배우잖아요. 저는 이게 배우는 건지도 사실 기억이 잘 안 났었는데, 이제 아이를 키우면서 초등학교 커리큘럼을 보니까 뭐 저학년 때 이게 다 나오더라고요. 막 어떤 때 question mark 찍고 exclamation point 찍고 막 느낌표 물음표는 이럴 때 써요. 막 이러면서 하더라고. 난 이게 당연한 건 줄 알았는데. 얼마 전에는 이제 7살짜리 우리 아들이 이제 지금 막 한글을 떼고 있어요. 근데 이제 작년쯤인가 책을 보면서 엄마 이 고리는 뭐야? 이렇게 묻더라고요. 그래서 어디 고리가 있어? 그랬더니 물음표를 보고 엄마 여기에 다 고리가 있어 이렇게 표현을 하더라고요. 그래서 이게 얘네들한테는 안 당연한 거구나. 다시 한번 얘기하자면 나한테 당연한 거 얘네한테 안 당연할 수 있다 그랬죠. 얘한테는 이게 너무 신기한가 봐요. 고리 모양. question mark. 그래서 이제 그거 물어볼 때는 끝에를 항상 이렇게 쓰는 거야 라고 가르쳐 줬는데, 우리한테 되게 이게 당연하지만 사실은 이런 punctuation mark, end mark를 어떻게 쓰느냐에 따라서 사실 여러분들의 그 문장 톤이 완전 달라지기도 하고, 이게 여러분들의 인토네이션에도 영향을 미쳐요. 그래서 여러분들이 스피킹을 할 때 예를 들면 아까 그 고릴라 문장처럼 만약에 그걸 스테이트멘트로 하겠다 하고서 period을 딱 찍었으면 되게 무덤덤하게 읽으면서 문장이 이렇게 인토네이션이 위로 올라갔다 꺾여서 내려오거든요. So there's a gorilla loose in the zoo 하고선 밑으로 내려가는 인토네이션인데 예를 들어서 거기에다가 question mark를 찍었어요. 뭐 가능한 얘기죠. 이제 물론 쥐어 터트려서 죽을 수도 있어요. 근데 질문을 했다 그랬을 때는 intonation going up이에요. 그래서 there's a gorilla loose in the zoo. Intonation goes up. So it depends on what end mark you use. Your pronunciation has to become different. Your intonation rules are applied differently depending on the end mark. So end marks are very important. But I've noticed that a lot of students forget to put period at the end of sentences. So please do not forget to finish your sentence with periods. Periods are very important. Period. 마침표. 중요해요. Periods. Okay? All right. So, I think that's all for the punctuation here. So you can just take a look and do practice here. Okay? Again, I will post the answers later. Now, I would like to give you some homework. 숙제는 숙제인데 사실 serious한 숙제는 아니고요. I'm giving you this homework because I don't think we will have enough time to cover everything new, cover anything new right now. We only have like 9 minutes left, so it's not enough time. So I'm going to give you these sentences. I want you guys to do your best to come up with the differences of the meanings of the following sentences. Let me share the screen with you. The sentence meanings I'd like you guys to take a look at very closely are, this is one of these sentences is said by Marie Antoinette, okay? Let them eat cake. Let them eat cake. Let them eat a cake. Let them eat the cake. Let them eat the cakes. Let them eat a piece of cake. Let them eat some pieces of cake. 자, 이 문장들이 뜻이 다 달라요. So the sentence meanings are all different. It looks very similar, but they are all different sentences. Let me just number these so that you don't lose any sentences. Okay, so there are 7 sentences, okay? I want you guys to do your best to try to analyze the difference in meanings of these 7 sentences. We will discuss these sentences in groups tomorrow, and then after that in class, okay? So don't be afraid if you can't find certain differences, but important thing is you need to find some differences, okay? So try to come up what's different. Okay, meaning differences. Let them eat cake, let them eat cakes, let them eat a cake, let them eat the cake, let them eat the cakes, let them eat a piece of cake, and let them eat some pieces of cake. Okay, so these sentences are uploaded on our group chat, so you can take a look at those sentences for your future reference. 지금 왜 벌써 멘붕 표정 뭐예요 이거? 아 이런 표정 좋지 않아. 아니야. 무섭게 하려고 한 거 아니에요. 자 이런 문장들이 다 뜻이 다르다는 거. 우리로 치면은 약간 조사 하나 가지고 뜻 완전 달라지는 거 있죠. 예전에 제가 미국에서 한국말을 가르친 적이 있었는데 그때 학생 중에 몇 명이 손을 들고 이렇게 물어봅니다. 선생님, what's the difference between 은는 and 이카? 그러면서 이러고 물어봐요. 나는 집에 간다. 내가 집에 간다. What's the difference? 그러게 말입니다. 대답해봐요. 할 수 있나? 되게 완전 멘붕에 빠졌던 기억이 있거든요. 지금 약간 그런 거 하는 거예요. 되게 재밌어요, 이거 하다 보면. 그래서 우리 이거 내일 얘기할 거니까 미리 한번 생각만 좀 해갖고 와보세요. 막 그래머 책 미친 듯이 안 찾아도 돼요. 어차피 내일 우리 같이 수업할 내용이니까. 근데 이거를 봤을 때 어떻게 다를까? 어떤 아이디어가 있을까? 이거 무슨 뜻일 것 같은데? 이런 정도로 그룹이랑 같이 쉐어할 수 있을 뭔가 건덕지만 갖고 오시면 됩니다. Alright? So our time's up. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have fun, guys. Stay safe from Corona. Okay? Bye, guys.